Good morning. This is Macca. We're in St Kilda this morning. Now, Ross, tell me a story. We used to know you as a master shaver.
The master shaver. In fact, I've spoken to you from many places around the globe.
Santorini.
Yes, Saint-Tropez. I remember that time. It was the middle of the night. You were here in the beautiful morning. I think it was in Sydney, and I was standing on a breakwater about 1:30 in the morning with scantily clad women running around me with champagne bottles with sparklers, and I'm trying to talk to you seriously about a topic. It was very hard. So we're in the lovely Melbourne next to Luna Park now. It's a bit different.
Yeah, so you can hear kids on rides and stuff here at Luna Park.
Today, I'd just like to tell you about something that I've been doing, which is the Bergonomics podcast, because you've been talking about economics, and it's one of my great passions. I have a podcast that demystifies economics so that people can understand how it affects their daily lives, because most economists just want to confuse us and baffle us, and we walk away with absolutely no idea what's happening in our lives or why we haven't got the money we should have. And we get leading economists and notable industry figures from around Australia, such as Professor Alan Fels, our inaugural chairman of the ACCC. We just recorded the economics of the battlefield with Major General Mick Ryan, and we look at the specific effects that interest rates, inflation, all those numbers that we don't really understand, how they were affecting our daily lives. 30 years ago, if you had the inflation rate we had now, the interest rate we had now, and the unemployment rate we have now, we'd all be clapping, we'd be laughing. It would be economic nirvana, but in fact, that's not happening. People are struggling. Interesting to know why, and we cover those topics along the way. When such as our farmers, for example, are getting half the amount of money for their lamb and their beef, yet it doesn't seem to be reflected in the price of chops at the supermarket, does it?
No, it never does.
So where's the money going?
Don't look at me.
Well, but they're the things that we look at. You know, what day of the week to buy your petrol and why.
And I suspect for many people, from anecdotal evidence, that, as Kieran said when he looked at the podcast of some women, housewives, they were talking about how tough it was, how much food was costing. They didn't have money for food, or they didn't have money for childcare and all those sorts of things. So it's biting out there, isn't it? And yet we're a very rich, affluent country, and a lot of people make a lot of money, but a lot of people don't make enough to get by now.
And that's the whole point. Why are all the numbers so wonderful? There's so much money around, and people can't afford to buy houses. People can't afford to stay in their houses. People that have retired, why can't they make stable income, secure income, out of bank deposits? All these things are changing, and we give up on trying to understand them. So we start the Bergonomics podcast with that premise. And at the end of the podcast, no matter how important the expert is, Macca, they've got to relate it to the simple hamburger.
Really?
If you're a major general, you have to sit there and say, well, people may be getting killed on the battlefield, but this is what happens to a hamburger, Ross. Because you've got to take it down to everyday effects for people, not a bunch of economists talking numbers and not knowing really what's going on in people's minds and how it affects their lives.
You're with the Brighton Icebergers. You still swim. Do you get new members? Are people swimming more than ever now?
After we were incarcerated in Victoria for a very long period of time, we weren't allowed to go outside or even breathe. The number of people that took up cold water swimming because of its mental health effects doubled our membership. Swimming for a kilometre in 9 or 10 degree water rubs your slate clean. No matter how you're feeling, you'll come out, you've forgotten every trouble you've ever had.
Hey, Rossi, nice. Anything else to report quickly, because I've got to move on?
No. And I look forward to talking to you in the future, my next trip away, wherever that may be. I've just come back from 6 weeks in Greece, and the weather was fantastic over there, and the beach is beautiful. So the next trip, I'll give you a call from the middle of the night somewhere.
All right. Please thank Ross MacDowell, ladies and gentlemen.